What's up, Famo? It is Dano back for some more. As always, guys, links to the socials on the screen down below. Hit me up, get in touch with me, talk to me, man. I love meeting new people, love spreading positivity, especially the people coming from the channel, bro. It means the world to me. Sub count in the bottom corner, keep running me up, guys. We almost at 100 on the road to 100K. Y'all know the motto. Y'all know what it is. We grinding. We're gonna do some motivational stuff by Jordan Peterson. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. Link to the original video will be in the description down below. Let's get it.
Had a fairly hostile father who was not very well controlled in his aggression. And so your reaction is, I'm never going to be aggressive. And so you've built a moral structure that's part of your personality. And there's possibility floating around outside.
I hate
of
pants
that
like
you
that. I'm gonna just say it with the slits at the bottom. Hate pants
ethical,
like that.
You've stripped the idea of aggression of any ethical utility whatsoever. Okay, so what happens? This burns off, and then that comes back up. Now you still have to integrate it. It's associated in some sense with Nietzsche's idea as morality as cowardice, because one of Nietzsche's most trenchant critiques of traditional morality, let's say, is that most of what passes for morality isn't morality. It's just cowardice. It's not that I'm a good person and I don't hurt you. It's that I'm afraid to hurt you. And because I don't want to admit that I'm afraid to hurt you, then I say I'm moral, because then I can mask my essential fear and cowardice in a guise of morality. And that happens far more often than you.
I like that. It's a big thing in our generation, big thing going on, man. I feel like you can't be afraid to speak up. If you're a yes man, you ain't getting nowhere. You'll never be the top one. You'll never be the one that's truly the breadwinner. Is a yes man. That is what it is. If you afraid to tell your friends or the people around you, not even just strangers, bro, you should be able to tell strangers the same thing, bro. Got to tell them what's best for them, even if it means them getting upset, mad, because you got to do that. It's your job at the end of the day as a man. If you're not doing that, man, you messing up. I like that. Jordan always talking the real, bro.
Essential fear and cowardice in a guise of morality. And that happens far more often than you would think, because harmless and moral are by no means the same thing. So some of what you're burning off, you can sit, and this is where Freud was such a genius, I think, is because he concentrated on aggression and sexuality, which are perhaps the two most difficult parts of a personality to integrate. Hyper-simplified morality stops you from tapping into deeper recesses of your psyche. And it's partly because they're primal forces. It's not surprising that you don't want to have anything to do with them, that you stay away from situations where they might make themselves manifest. But the problem is, by denying the worst in yourself in that manner, suppressing it,
you're missing out on a lot.
The possibility of the best, because no one can be a good person without integrating their capacity for aggression. Because without that capacity for aggression, you cannot say no. Because no means, if you really say it, no means there isn't anything that you can do to me that will make me change my mind. Or conversely, it means I will play for higher stakes than you will.
Unless
you've got your aggression integrated, there isn't a chance you can say that. And if you did, no one would take you seriously, because they'd know it was just a show. One of the most useful things that Jung did, I think, was to work on this idea of the integration of the shadow, because he was really interested in the idea of evil, right? Especially working with trying to parcel out what happened in Nazi Germany and during the Second World War. What do you do with the part of you that's aggressive and potentially
use it as a driving force?
That's the superego response in some sense.
Nah, you use it as a driving force, bro. You use your anger, your aggression, the things that have you troubled in life. You use that shit as motivation. That's the best motivation in the world, bro. I've said that. I've said it in videos. I've talked about it with friends, but anger and willpower that join together make one of the most unstoppable fucking forces in the world, bro. Some of the heartbreak, the pain, the hurt, the anger, that is some of the best motivation you'll ever get in your life. You need to always use that as a time to go hard in the gym, go hard in your dedications, your dreams, everything, bro, because pain is something different, bro. Pain can motivate you so much, or you can let it destroy you. It's up to you.
You just put it behind you, malevolent. You just crush it. That's the superego response in some sense. Do you just put it behind you, so to speak? Is that a possibility? Or do you admit to its existence and bring it into the game? Both Jung and Piaget had a different idea, and I think they were right. It's like, no, you invite the bad guys out to play. And so you're an aggressive hockey player, but it's disciplined aggression. That gives you access to a whole sorts of energy you wouldn't otherwise have. And then with regards to sexuality, it's like, well, untrammeled promiscuity doesn't constitute a virtue, but neither does unavoidable virginity, right? In fact, I think that's worse, because it also masks itself with virtue. You should be able to do things that you wouldn't do. That's like the definition of a genuinely moral person. They could do it, but they don't. And that's not cowardice. And so that's You burn off the things that get in the way of that integration. But that's what happens to Geppetto in the belly of the whale. He's so caught in his presuppositions that he can't escape, right? And so Pinocchio represents the new force. So it's very interesting. So when you watch Pinocchio try to rescue him, the first thing Geppetto does is confuse Pinocchio with a fish because he wants something to eat. Pinocchio is better than something to eat because he can rescue him so he doesn't need to eat. And then Pinocchio wants to make a fire and Geppetto objects because he's going to burn up all the furniture. We don't need the damn furniture if we're getting out of the whale. So Geppetto, and he's old, so that's the rigid structure. That's the old year that has to die.
I don't know exactly where he's going with this, but I feel like he's making excuses not to better. He's making his excuses not to get out of the whale's belly in this story. He's making excuses and oh, we don't need to give up this baggage because, you know, but if you're leaving that area, you don't need the baggage. You don't need the pain, the depression, the sadness. If you're leaving that all behind, leave it all behind. Don't bring none of it with you to the next stage of your life, bro. That's just counterintuitive, counterintuition. I don't know exactly what you would say there, but it's counteractive to what you're doing, bro. That's a good way to look at it.
Off before
the
the
way to
new
look
year
at
can
it.
be born. It's a forest fire that allows for new growth, and that's how those things are put
Damn,
together.
bro's
And
back.
see, and it's
Real.
useful to know too, because if you burn something off, you might think, well, there's nothing left. It's like, that's not true. If it's dead wood, then you have room for new growth, and you want to be doing that on a fairly regular basis. That's the snake that sheds its skin and transforms itself, right? That's the death and resurrection from a psychological perspective. It's exactly the same idea. Now, we don't know the upper limit to that, right? Because we don't know what a person would be like if they let everything that they could let go, let go. And only
Damn, they
let
started
in what was
squabbling
seemly,
immediately.
let's say. But you can see that. It's funny. We don't know that to some degree. You can see people start to do that without, that's not a rare experience. And people improve very rapidly. They can improve their lives very rapidly. A lot of it's low-hanging fruit. Like, if you just stop doing really stupid things,
He put out
that
the
you know
why
are stupid,
iota.
your life improves a lot. It frees you up. It also means there's an element there.
Nobody
that's also
ever grabbed me
associated
like that,
with
bro.
pride,
That would be
because
fighting.
People tend to take pride in who they are, and that's a bad idea because that stops you from becoming who you could be. Because if you're proud of who you are, you won't let that go when it's necessary. You won't step away from it, you know, and then you end up being your own parody, something like that. That's also a very bad idea. You want to be continually stepping away from your previous self. And I guess part of that too is
I
you
like
have
that.
to
I think we all need to do that somewhere. We just step away from our previous selves.
decide,
I like
Are
that.
you order?
Like that
Are
a
you
lot.
chaos?
Write
or
that
are you
down.
the process that mediates between them?
I
If you're
recommend
the
writing down the
process that
things you
mediates
take out of
between
this
them,
famo
you
to
are
keep
the
you
thing that
motivated, to keep you
transforms.
remembering it.
And that's the right attitude for a human being, because that's what we are. We're the thing that voluntarily confronts chaos and transforms. That's what we are. And so, for better or worse, you know, that's our deepest biological essence, you might say. And so you can let things go if you know that there's more growth to come.
You can let things go if you know there's more growth to come. That's crazy.
You should be
That's
a
a
monster.
great way to look at it. Next video started playing over here on me. My bad. Close
You should be a
this
monster.
down. Close this down. Nice, famo. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, take some gems from it, man. Be positive today and tomorrow, the next day. Tell somebody you love them, hug them, say hey to somebody, ask them how the day's going. Even if it's a random stranger on the side of the street, bro, it can make their day, and it'll make your day better, even if you realize it or not. Because ultimately, we're human, bro. Human interaction is what matters, and we've all lost that. And I just want to keep promoting that. So, love you guys as always. I love you. Shoot. Hope you guys are enjoying the content and getting some type of jewels out of it, man. I don't have no outro. Y'all know that, so I'm out of here.